teddy bear. Feels like to have a small toy now that she's still for once at least.
She loves to sleep when you...
Yeah.
It's so cute, I can't stand it.
But we were playing and she's so aggressive. Like her teeth and her claws. But she needs to learn some boundaries. And then she will play more peacefully, I think. And she plays also with Mita.
Yeah.
And she's jumping on her face. It's really fun.
Everyone is tired.
Yeah. But she's really cozy now. Cute.
Okay, I'm literally dressed the same way of yesterday, but it's a new day. It's the 17th of December today. I started the Josie, sorry, that's the wrong side, the Josie hood, my Josie hood. And I made quite some progress already. Yesterday I was feeling pretty bad in the evening because of my period, and I cast it on and I watched 3 episodes of Rings of Power, which is an absolutely amazing series based on Lord of the Rings, which is my favorite movie of all time. And yes, so I watched 3 episodes and I knitted this much. It's going along, it's knitting along beautifully, and I think it will take, now it will slow down because I'm increasing knitting the scarf part, but it's turning out beautifully, and I want to finish it before Christmas so I can wear it in the north. And I have knitted 2 Christmas gifts, but I'm not going to show them to you because the receivers might watch this and I don't want to risk it. So if I'll manage it, I'll film the 2 projects that I knitted later on after Christmas, but we'll see. Yeah, I have a vest for Mike that I want to knit, but he won't have it for Christmas. So today I'm gonna show you my whips, and the rest of the whips that I'm not gonna show you will be frogged, apart from one, which is like a brioche cardigan. That's not going to be frogged, but the rest are going to be frogged. So if you don't see, if you've been here before and you remember my whips for some reason, because you have a good memory, they will be frogged. I'll create a clean slate. So I finished, this is the first whip that is going to be basically my finished object. And I finished it, but then now I'm unraveling the cast off edge because I want to knit the ribbing a bit longer. It's already quite of a long jumper, but I want it to be even more long, like a massive tunic. Not really, but like almost. So that's going to be, this is my second whip. So Josie hood and the jumper, they're gonna be finished quite soon, hopefully before Christmas, the jumper for sure. Then I have my Advent project that I finally decide what to do with it, because I was kind of pondering, so I'm wondering. So this is a big garter project, and I started to follow the Advent wrap, which is kind of like a 2 panels cardigan wrap that you sew together. So you have to create 2 identical panels in garter with some texture work. But anyhow, I decided to not do that and continue knit ad infinitum. I'll create, because this is a super long, super big garter panel, and I'm just gonna knit forth and back, use stash yarn, use some of my Advent yarns. Today I open day 10 and look at this. How gorgeous. Gorgeous. This is the DK Way yarn Donegal Kilcara Tweed color 4501. Love it. So I've been knitting this with mainly some of the yarns of my Advent calendar of this year, but I'll also use stash yarn, and I'm gonna create a blanket. Did I say that? Just knit this. This is my first blanket. I never knitted a blanket, I think, in my life, if I'm not mistaken. So that's exciting. I want to, yeah, this is going to be my super long term project. I would love to have a blanket, and it's 200 stitches, 5 millimeters needles, DK Way yarn or worsted way yarn. I'll just knit forth and back, garter stitch. Maybe I'll do some little texture work, some yarn overs knitted together, something like that, to give it a little bit of a spice. But I think that's the idea with some of my Advent yarn. But some of the skeins that I really love, like this one, these two, and this one too, I'll use them to knit some leg warmers, because I love wearing leggings, and sometimes between my boots and my leggings there is this area that is exposed to the weathers, and so it's nice to have some leg warmers. I don't own any. I have like socks and stockings, but it would be nice to have some chunky or woolly leg warmers. And since this yarn is quite rustic for other accessories, I will knit leg warmers, and I love it. So some of the Advent skeins will go for that project, but I still haven't cast it on, so it's not in my whips pile yet. Fourth project that I've been working on super slowly because of the yarn. It's this vest. This is the Diamond Twill vest by Nina Pomerenke, and is knitted in this gorgeous yarn Nutiden, which is an unspun yarn, but this is especially fragile. It's super fragile. I'm holding it double, but it's breaking every time, and it's quite frustrating. But so I don't want to knit on it if I'm frustrated or stressed. So it's another project that I've been working on slowly, and it's a vest for Mike that I'm knitting for Mike. Really, really happy to have this on my needle and have it as a project for him as well. Then I have this cardigan that I actually started for a wedding, my wedding. And it's going to be a super slow project. It's super easy cardigan, drop shoulder, top down cardigan that I'm knitting with the silk mohair and alpaca fingering weight yarn. That's another whips, just so you know what I'm knitting on. And then I have this massive cardigan, which I always forget about it because I consider it my boring cardigan. It's quite boring actually, but I think it's going to be super, super versatile and useful for my wardrobe. And it's basically done. It's a really chunky cardigan, and it's boring because it's just gray. not that all grey cardigans are boring, but this is quite boring for me. But it's nice. It's just boring to knit on. I have to block it because it looks a bit weird, but it's quite long. It's knitted with different grey yarns. As you can see, they're not all the same color. I talked about it in the past. It's self-drafted, drop shoulder. I have to pick up these stitches. There are live stitches there. I needed the needles. I already knitted the button band, and I actually got the button that I wanted to add on. I ordered them because I really wanted these buttons. So let me show them to you. These are going to be the buttons that I'll add. Yeah, they're all a bit different, but very beautiful. I think they would be beautiful with this cardigan. Let me see if they even fit. Yeah, I mean, it's a boring cardigan. It's a boring grey cardigan, but it's nice. And I just self-drafted it. Many of the patterns that I showed you are self-drafted because I love to self-draft projects, maybe even more than following patterns. Okay, so this needs some love, and then I can finish it and wear it because I would really love to have it in my wardrobe. It's just not fun to knit on because it's a boring cardigan. Okay, so that's a project that I basically, yeah, I'll finish soon. I hope I'll finish it soon. Then my last whip, so there are not many whips. The rest are going to be frogged, but one cardigan that I talked about earlier, my brioche cardigan, self-drafted, that's going to be finished later on in the year, in the new year, I guess. This is my Christmas jumper, no longer Christmas jumper because I don't think I'll finish it for Christmas. There's just 1 week basically left, and I'm not gonna manage. I'm not gonna finish it, for Christmas, but maybe for New Year's Eve. This is a self-drafted again raglan sweater. I'm actually following a pattern, which is a super basic. I highly recommend that pattern. Knitted in a worsted weight gauge or yarn, and it's called the Everyday Raglan by Ship and Stitch, and it's a super simple top-down raglan pullover jumper. I'm kind of following that pattern with a stitch count, or at least I cast it on the same amount of stitches for size S or the second size, I think. But then I did this kind of braid situation on the raglan, and then I just did my thing on the side. I continued the braid and I did some moss stitch. So I'm just doing my thing, but I started following that pattern, let's say. And I'm using a beautiful yarn. It's Drops Nepal. Yeah, I love it. I love Drops Lima and I love Drops Nepal so much. It's a beautiful yarn, and I'm holding it together with silk mohair, Drops Kid Silk, and this camel collar. And that creates an absolutely gorgeous fabric. So this is going to be probably my New Year's Eve jumper, if everything goes well. So yeah, that's it. These are my whips. I am really impressed I don't have other ones. I have some, but the ones that I didn't show you, apart from the cardigan, the brioche cardigan, are going to be frogged because I'm not feeling them. And I'm gonna travel to the north to visit my family for Christmas with Mike and my entire little family and the dogs and the cat. And this is a new bag that I bought. It's not my color at all, but I couldn't resist. It has flowers and it has this nylon-y textile that is quite like padded, and it's kind of like water repellent and wind resistant. It's kind of like a jacket fabric, wind jacket fabric, and it's massive. It's quite big. So here I'm gonna put the projects that I'm gonna bring to the north, and they're going to be 2 projects, I think, if not 3. The first project that I'm going to bring is going to be my golden Christmas, no longer Christmas jumper. Then I'm going to bring some yarn for my leg warmers, so I can have like a tiny project to work on with little circular needles. So I think those are the 2 projects that I'm going to bring if I don't feel like bringing something else like Mika's vest, but that would require some patience and a lot of yarn. I need to bring the yarn, which is quite voluminous, so we'll see. But that's the idea. And this hood is going to be finished before Christmas, before I go to the north. So I'm going to focus heavily on this in the next 5 days before I go, so I can have it, because I don't have a protection for my head that I like. Okay, so I was really excited to show you all my whips, and I feel not so overwhelmed. They're not many. The blanket, the now Advent blanket, is going to be a super long-term project. It's going to be, I always wanted to have like a super long-term blanket project on my needles, but I always worried that I will never finish it. But that one I think is super fun and easy. It's a garter blanket, and I can add all my scraps and all the bits of beautiful yarns that I have that I wouldn't know how to use because maybe there are not much. Really excited for that. I'm excited to have leg warmers, and I'm excited to finish this. I think I need to give it some love maybe this evening, so I can actually add on more centimeters on the body, and then this is going to be my super cozy jumper that I can wear in the Alps. And yes. Oh, by the way, I started the hoodie with this yarn, as you can see, before I used the other yarn. This is Drops Lima held together with Drops Alpaca Silk, and I would have loved to have the hoodie in this yarn, or the Josie hood balaclava in this yarn. Maybe eventually I'll continue knitting with this yarn, but I only have 3 skeins of this yarn, and it's not enough. I need 3 more skeins. So I was like, okay, let me buy more yarn. But then I was like, no, Martina, you have the yarn, not in that color, but in another beautiful color, which is this one. And this is Drops Lima and Drops Kid Silk, this rust color held together. And I absolutely love this color. So this is, and I had enough in this color. So these are all my whips. Let me know what you're knitting. And I think I'm really happy with my whips. I want to slowly finish all of them. And I'll cast on the leg warmers when I'll be traveling to the north. And thank you for watching. This was another chatty episode, kind of podcast-like episode, but this is what I felt today. And yeah, I'll see you very soon.